Hey, this is Jamey with Stillmeyer Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanism in Project L, this sleek, minimalistic box and game that I recently got on Kickstarter. I was really looking forward to this because I love polyomino games, and this game is full of polyomino tiles, these little plastic tiles. And they're plastic instead of cardboard for a very specific reason that you'll see in a second, which is that the core components of the game, in addition to those tiles, or in addition to those tokens, are actual tiles that are, I believe, triple layered. It's really two layers that really matter here, which is the top layer that has a hole punched in it where you can fit a combination of tiles here, which is really nice. They didn't have to do this dual layered, but they did, and it's super nice as a result. And there are a ton of these tiles in the game. These are only just the simple tiles. There's also another stack of more complex and more difficult to complete tiles with higher point values. So I really love, beautiful production. I just want to mention that because I've never seen this many dual layered tiles or mats in really any game. And so I'm impressed they did that. There are two mechanisms that combine in this game to create a really, really good experience. The first is that when you complete one of these shapes, so when you've completely filled it in using your 3 actions on a turn and over the course of multiple turns, when you completely fill them in with some of these tokens, you put the tile aside because you'll get points at the end of the game, and you'll instantly gain another tile that you didn't have before, another token, polyomino token, to fill in future tiles that you gain. And the big thing is, instead of spending the tokens that you used to complete the shape, you keep those tokens in your supply. This is huge. And it's something that I actually played wrong for the first couple turns of the game. And I was watching other players move ahead a little faster than I was, and then I realized, hey, they are not discarding their tokens. I missed that in the rules explanation. They are keeping those tokens. Think about that for a second. Like in most games, when you spend your resources to gain something, the resources go away. They go back to the supply. In rare cases, they go to another player, but usually back to the supply. Hardly ever do you spend resources, and you actually just get to keep those resources in your resource pool to use again to make better tiles. And this ties directly into the engine building aspect of the game. Because every time you're completing these tiles, not only are you getting a new polyomino tile or token to benefit you, but you're keeping all the stuff that you already had. And you can even upgrade that stuff. You can use actions to upgrade it. And it combines with another really cool mechanism that I wanted to mention, which is something called a master action. So you have a variety of different actions you can do on your turn. Most of them are like place 1 token here, gain a basic tile, upgrade a basic, not a tile. You can gain a tile, or you can upgrade a basic token or gain a basic token. One of those two things. But the master action is that you get to place a token on all of your tiles, and you can hold up to 4 different tiles at any given time. So you could accumulate a couple of these at different stages, and with one single action on your turn, you can put a bunch of tokens on all of them, or put 1 token on all of them. And this wouldn't really matter if you were actually spending all of your tokens every time you completed one of these. But because they are re-entering your pool, your token pool, when you're kind of always setting yourself up for a master action on the next turn. So almost every turn you're doing a master action where you're using a bunch of tiles, a bunch of tokens that you've accumulated, and putting them on your new tiles that you have. And that is really, really satisfying to have this ongoing pool of resources that you're not really spending, you're not giving away, you're using, you're allocating, but you're not actually giving them away. So it's more like you're managing your resources and deciding the timing of when you're going to use that master action to fill them in on these tiles than it is about resource collection, because you're getting those resources back constantly, and you're also getting more based on completing the tiles. So I thought that was really interesting. It kind of made me think about resource collection games in a new way, and that maybe there's some ways, and probably some other examples of games that you can think of. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments of games where you are spending resources, but when you spend them, they're just going back into your pool. They're not going back to the general supply. So you're spending them temporarily, but then you'll have them for future turns to give you that sense of progression in the game, that sense of engine building. And I think it pairs well here with that master action I talked about. So that is my favorite mechanism in Project L. Really, really clever, a lot of fun, and not a long game either. It took us maybe 30 minutes to play a 4-player game. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments if you played this, or if you have any thoughts about this resource not spending mechanism in Project L. Thanks.